And so the purpose of tonight's call is to kind of catch us up on a couple things that are going on right now. With everything going on in the world, I think that this is a perfect time for us to serve. So I've been trying to think of some things that don't take a lot of prep, don't take a lot of scheduling or anything like that for us to be doing. So one of those things was the Spirit Week this week. All we needed to do was, I created the graphic, and all we need to do is participate. And it's a fun way for people. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I had a couple people participate on my thread on my Facebook page that are not currently clients or anything like that. I think Heather had some do that too. It's just a fun thing to bring some community together in this crazy world we live in right now. And again, it doesn't take us like starting a new group, making all these graphics, creating all this content or anything like that. So I've been trying to just think outside the box. So if you have something that you're doing with your school or with your business or with your team at work or whatever, and it's really like helping you to feel more connected and not so alone and maybe lessen your anxiety a little bit, and there's some way we can tweak it and make it our own for our team and for the people that we serve that are part of our community, then please share the idea with me, and don't be afraid to come up with an idea on your own and share it in the team page and let us all run with it. I think this is an awesome opportunity for us not to give away the milk for free. I don't think that this is a time where we need to be constantly like running free groups and letting anybody and everybody into our accountability group. Now, if you want to invite people to our virtual gym, I think that's totally fine. But we do put a lot of time and effort and energy into what we do and how we serve. So I don't want people to think that this is just an opportunity for them to come get it for free. There's a couple downfalls to giving away everything for free. One being our current clients can get kind of frustrated because they're paying for it. And there's no way for us to say you can stop paying and you know, that kind of thing. I know that Peloton has had a lot of backlash because they're giving away their app for free right now, and they have all these subscribers that have paid for it. So they're getting a lot of beef for that. Gyms are getting a lot of beef for that right now too. And then I also think that, you know, there's this whole accountability piece. And when we feel like we've made an investment in ourselves, we show up more for ourselves. So if we're giving away everything for free, sometimes, yes, that's good exposure. Like we're giving them a glimpse into what we have to offer, but we're also setting them up for a little bit of failure because we are showing them what we have to offer, but we're not really giving them any skin in the game. And without that, it's really hard for people to show up consistently. I know for me, being a coach makes me show up when I don't want to. Like feeling like I owe other people to show up, that makes me show up in the moments when motivation is non-existent. Because let's be real, motivation is a myth. And so we need to make sure that, yes, we're putting ourselves out there, we're doing things. I want you to keep sharing the free kids virtual gym. We had a lot of participation in the first week, not so much since then, myself included, because I haven't had the kids, so I haven't been logging into it. So tomorrow I plan on sharing that again and having people come join us. That's something that we didn't have to create. It was created for us. Hang on one second. My mom is texting me. I will talk to her after. And then also understanding that this is a perfect opportunity. I know that we have been like drilled and killed to sell a challenge pack. Like I feel like from corporate down, that has always been the total solution. And I still 1000% believe that it is the total solution. But we have to think about who we're serving right now. And there are people who love going to the gym or love going to Zumba or water aerobics or whatever it is. And whenever the gym's open again, they want to go back to their gym. So right now we're an alternative for them. Now is not the time to say like, you need to buy this package because your gym is closed and you need a plan B. And it's not the time to like instill fear in people or capitalize on the fear in people. Instead, it's time for you to say, you know what? I know you love the gym. I have a solution for you. And for just $40, you could use it for the next 3 months. And then maybe at the end of 3 months, your gym will be open again. You're providing them with a solution. You're not providing them with a product to purchase. You are trying to help them solve their current problem. It doesn't feel icky when you are helping someone solve their problem. What feels icky is when you try to say, and then why don't you also just get the year membership and tack on this Shakeology that you know in your heart of hearts would be wonderful for them, but is not really deep down what they want. Because that's when you are just trying to turn a person into a Success Club point. And that's not what we're about. That's not what we've ever been about. Now, I will say this. I usually do say to people, there's a really great deal right now where you would get access to, like right now, the way I'm sharing the challenge pack special is I'm saying if you right now sign up for the 10 rounds package, you get VIP access to 10 rounds, you get your loops, you get a year of Beachbody On Demand, and you get a choice of a month of Shakeology or a month of Recover and Energize. And then in 2 weeks, you're also going to have access to Bar Blend. So to me right now, selling a Bar Blend package is not a good deal for somebody. They're going to have access to it in a couple weeks regardless of whether they do it. The only thing they won't be getting is the affirmation cards. But they're getting so much more if you do the 10 rounds package. So that's what I've been leading with. Now, if someone says to me, and I just sold a 3-month membership like last week or the week before. If someone says to me, I really just want to try it. I want to see if it works for me. I just want something to do at home until this all blows over. I don't push it. And I am really trying to encourage you not to push it. Don't go into any conversation that you're having looking for a Success Club point. Don't go into any conversation that you're having looking for a challenge pack sale. Definitely throw those options out there because they are a solution to everyone's problem, literally everyone's problem. But you need to think about who you're talking to and cater the conversation to the person. So my idea is I've got this woman who was recommended to me by her friend. She works with her. She came to me. She's a PE teacher and she loves the gym. She spends a lot of time at the gym. I think she's single, has a boyfriend, but lives on her own and doesn't have any kids yet. And so the gym is her jam. And I understand that. The gym was my jam back in that day. So she was really upset, obviously, when her gym closed. So she came to me after her friend connected us and was like, I'm really interested in Beachbody On Demand, blah, blah, blah. I mentioned one time the best, most popular package right now, which is what I just explained to you. And she was like, I think I just want to try it. So I gave her the 3-month, 6-month, 12-month option. Like I gave her the prices and she went with the 3-month. In my opinion, I've given her a solution to her problem. I'm also showing her what we have to offer because along with the 3-month package, she has access to like 800 workouts, right? And then she's also in my accountability group. So she's getting the weekly meal plan. She's getting the accountability. She's getting the virtual gym. She's getting everything that someone would get if they ordered the challenge pack. So she's getting exposed to what we have to offer. We know that the most important piece of what we do is the accountability. Our job, if you have not listened to today's National Wake Up Call, it was so good. She repeatedly said, our job is to make sure that our clients have a great experience. We're not the fitness pros. We are not the dietitians. We are not the sales lady on the floor trying to, win whatever prize your manager gives you when you have the most sales that day. We are someone trying to provide a solution to our client and then give them the best experience possible. In my opinion, the best experience possible includes them getting results. And if what they need right now is a 3-month subscription to Beachbody On Demand to get them their results, then that's what I need to be providing them. I don't need to push it. So I wanted to share a couple recent conversations I've had and tell you how I've started having them. Because guys, I'm going to be completely honest with you. One of my girlfriends reached out to me yesterday or the day before, and she just asked me how business was going. She is not an entrepreneur. Well, she is an entrepreneur. Her and her husband flip houses, but she's not a coach. She's a client of mine. She buys Shakeology every couple months, and she's a Beachbody On Demand member, that kind of thing. But she is just a good friend. She lives in New York. We met through social media. And she just asked me how it was going. And I told her, I was like, honestly, I'm kind of surprised it's going really well. And I was thinking it would probably like flunk right now because I am not comfortable trying to sell people. I am not comfortable capitalizing on people's fear and insecurity and vulnerability and anxiety because I understand it. I know how they're feeling, and I'm just not going to do that. And I think Carl's done a really good job as CEO to try to encourage us not to do that as well. I think that he's called out some people that needed to be called out, and then, shared with us good examples and bad examples of how to treat our current environment and atmosphere right now. But a couple of the things that I've been doing a lot more lately than I used to do, and I think this is what's getting the conversations going, is one, sharing transformation stories. And I'm not just sharing like my beginning and my end, or like my beginning and my now. I'm sharing the mental transformation. I'm sharing, the other day I shared from after I had Laurel to today. And I'll be honest, when I saw that memory pop up, I literally thought to myself, holy crap, I need to stop being so awful. I need to stop talking so awful to myself. Like, I've been so hard on myself, especially with all the quarantine snacking going on. And when I saw that picture, I was like, dang, I have come far. Not where I want to be, but I've come real far. And so I was just honest about that, and I shared that. And I had 4 conversations going from that post almost instantly. And that was the post where I literally, if you look on my page, I actually pulled it up so I can share it with you on my computer screen. So this is the post I'm talking about. This literally came up in my memories. Someone else took the picture. It's not a great picture, but it's me wearing Laurel 3 years ago. So, and then this is me for Autism Day. I took that picture to post in honor of the kids with autism. And I didn't share a whole lot. I didn't write a book. I think that writing a book right now is not, like, everyone's scrolling social media and they're not stopping to read all the long stuff. They really just want facts. And I think I caught everyone's attention because I said, I guess I'll stop being an asshole to myself now, because that's what I've been. I have been a jerk to myself. I actually went back and forth about whether or not to actually leave the word asshole in there, because my mom and my grandma are on my Facebook, and I was like, really? That's not usually the way I talk in front of them, and was really worried about using that language. And then, so I put the dollar signs in there to make me feel better. But I really just think right now is a time for us to encourage women to know that you've got to take a break. Like, you can't be teacher, mommy, wife, house cleaner, and employee all from home 24/7. Like, we've got to have something for us. And so that was my message here. Like, it's time for me to stop being a jerk to myself. And there is no shame in wanting to feel good inside, outside, and about yourself. And these are the words right here that have had the biggest impact on my conversations. I had 3 women message me saying, I saw that you're open for enrollment. Enrollment for what exactly? How did you lose your weight? Those words, I said, I'm currently open for enrollment, and I usually don't use that terminology. Those words got people's attention. So if that's something that you want to try in your post, I encourage you to do it. I've also made sure to repeatedly say this right here, because again, I think that a lot of coaches right now are trying to capitalize on the fact that people have been ignorant by not having something to do at home, not doing home workouts already, not eating the snacks and not taking advantage of this time. Because I even said last week to you guys, we have so much more time on our hands. Like, I know we're busy and it's crazy and chaotic and insane sometimes, but we're home more. So we technically do have time. There's no commute time. There's no wait time at the doctor's office, like all these things that would normally be a time suck. So I've repeatedly made a point to say, I'm not trying to tell you you need to come out of quarantine skinny or with a six-pack or anything like that, but it might be nice to come out with your sanity. And I really do believe right now that that is the thing we need to be addressing. I think if you listen to today's National Wake Up Call, by the way, if you have not listened to it, you have got to make it a priority. It was so good. She took the 4 vital behaviors and deconstructed them into step-by-steps that made so much sense, broke everything down, doesn't make anything about it feel icky. And if you've ever said to yourself, I want to get back into this, but I just don't know where to start, she gives you the place to start. And the very first thing she tells you to do is PD, by the way. She thinks that's more important than even pushing play. And I would agree with her. But something she also said today, and I planned on going live about it tomorrow because it really spoke to me, was you have to do the work up here first. You have to do the work from here up before you worry about here down. And the reason why she was saying that is because if you do the work from here down and you do nothing about here up, this is not going to last. Something like a quarantine is going to happen. Something like the storms last night is going to happen, or stuff's going to get hard at work, or you and your spouse are going to have a bump in your relationship or something, and you're going to go back to all your old habits, and you're going to go back to all the negative self-talk, and you're going to self-sabotage again. But if you do the work from here up first and then focus on here down, you'll be able to get through that stuff because you've done the work where it matters the most. So you'll be able to maintain the work that you've done down here when this stuff gets hard up here. And that right now, I think, needs to be what we communicate most. So when those people reached out to me and said to me, what exactly are you doing? I'm going to show you the conversation, and I'm just going to trust that nobody on our team would ever try to steal a customer from me. But this conversation started, I really felt like I was losing it. Like I was not going to, it wasn't going to continue down the path that I thought it would. So let me explain to you. She literally reached out to me. I posted this at 8:12 in the morning, and at 9:06, I got this message from her. So I'm not making it up. Like it was not very long after. She said, I saw your post, enrollment for what? I'm interested in help reaching my fitness goals. So the first thing I did was I just asked her how virtual teaching is going, because she's a teacher at another middle school. And I met her through a workshop we did at work, and I only friend requested her like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So she's probably only seen my posts for a little while. Enrollment for my current accountability groups. I tell her that I have 2 going. I tell her one is a focus on fitness, and then one is the boxing program. She answers my question about virtual teaching and then tells me what she's looking for as far as fitness goes, because I asked her up here what her fitness goals were. I talk a little bit about virtual teaching, and then I listen to what she has to say, and I come up with a solution for it. So I tell her straight out, I think that she should get the program that gives her the loops and the VIP access and all that. And then I also remembered that her husband's in the military. So I make sure to let her know that she can get a 25% discount. I answer all of her questions. She had lots of questions. And this is where I sometimes start to clam up, and I think all of us do sometimes. We start to get all these questions and we think, oh, they're not interested. Or we don't know how to answer them because in our minds, it all makes perfect sense. But I'm watching this TV show, Shameless, right now. And this girl was going to a Google workshop, and they were teaching her how to do Google Slides and all this stuff for business. And she gets in there and they're like, okay, log into your email and do this and do that. And she's like, struggling to even turn on the laptop. Like she doesn't have an email address, and she doesn't know how to log in and do this and do that. And it hit me like, I'm very computer literate because I have to use one every day for work. When all this virtual teaching went on, I'm very Zoom literate because we use it for our business. But how many of our friends and coworkers struggled to figure out Zoom or Google Meet because they'd never used it before? this girl has all these questions, not because she is doubting me, not because she's questioning the product or the performance or anything. It's because she's never used it before. So we have to kind of take that step back and realize these questions aren't personal. These are not about me. They're not because someone doesn't believe in what I'm doing or they think I'm out to get them. It's literally like, how do I access the program? Is it something I put on my TV? Like, that should not make me uncomfortable when someone asks me that question. So yes, let her know that there's an income opportunity because she is a teacher, she is military, she could work the business for free, blah, 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 blah. And then I tell her that it's kind of like Netflix. You log in and then you have access to everything virtually. And I let her know all the different ways that I use it. She says, thanks for the info. She lets me know she might think about coaching later, blah, blah, blah. Then I start to tell her about the different flavors of Shakeology. And she asks another question. And again, this is where I start to think, oh gosh, she might not be interested. All she's asking is, can she change the next month? And I let her know she can. And then she asks about cost. And this is where I really get uncomfortable because this is usually where we lose people. There's some reason why it's too much or, that kind of thing. So I let her know what the initial package is. I let her know what her price for Shakeology would be if she chooses to continue with it. I try to be really upfront with that because I absolutely hate it when someone reaches out to me and says, hey, my account was just drafted for this amount and I didn't realize it was going to ship again. And because that just crushes me. I know people count on their money being in their account. And when it's not there, that can be scary and leave a bad taste in their mouth. Then I let her know again that the year membership is a one-time fee, so it won't bill again. So when she asks me this next question and she puts 2 question marks on it, I really get nervous. I'm sharing all this with you because I want you to understand that all the same feelings you have when you're having conversations, I have them too. Absolutely. I get the same feelings and fears and anxiousness about it. Sometimes I question whether or not I'm saying the right thing or if I'm saying too much. So I'm just sharing this all with you because I want you to know conversations are hard for everybody. And right now they're particularly hard because we have all these other things on our minds. Like you have to think about, I know I'm a teacher, so I keep using these metaphors that are for teachers, but like you think about the kid in your class who is constantly daydreaming or constantly head down, eyes closed. And you think about like, they've got all these other things to be thinking about. Like maybe they don't know if food's going to be on the table tonight. They don't know if dad's going to come home drunk tonight. They don't know if mom will ever come home again. Like they've got all these other things that are on their minds that are completely consuming them. So when I'm asking them to think about the Diary of Anne Frank, it's like, literally, teacher, that's the last thing on my mind right now. And right now, that's kind of the way we need to approach the world when we're talking about our business. Like right now, we're thinking about whether or not that we're going to have enough toilet paper, whether or not we're going to when we're going to see our grandparents, when we're going to go back to work and see our coworkers, or when our kids are going to go back to school and all this stuff. And so right now, we need to approach things understanding that it might be hard to focus on this because this seems like a really small thing when there's a lot of other distractions that are taking over our minds and our hearts right now. Doesn't mean this isn't important. It just means we have to be understanding of all the other things that people are thinking about and worrying about. So when she brings up the fact that the shake is $99.95 a month and has 2 question marks, I start to really worry. I let her know that gets her a 30-day supply, and I broke it down to what it would be each day. Then she asks how much her membership will be in another year, and I let her know. And then I broke that down into what the monthly cost would be, because I find when you break it down into your shake is like $4 a day and your monthly membership is like $8 a month, people are like, oh, wow, that's not bad at all. $100 to people sounds like a lot up front. But when you break it down and say $8 a month, they're like, oh, gosh, that's less than Planet Fitness. So then she asks a couple more questions. I answer them. Then she asks me for a pic, and I normally never send these, but I've actually sent these to 2 people in the last week, and one girl went from the good package to the better package after I sent it. So don't be afraid to share these graphics with you. I just Googled this and got it offline. It's not anything fancy. I let her know that we've talked about the good package. She asks a little bit more about Shakeology. One of the things that the girl on the National Wake Up Call shared today was that she made a video of herself actually making some of her shakes and showing people how she does it. And she just has it as like a YouTube link and then sends it to the person to have them watch. I'm thinking about doing that. That way I'm not spending all this time writing it all out, but also that's just such a great tool for us to have to be able to send to someone, to have it already written out. But I tell her what my favorite is. I tell her some people like to add peanut butter. She asks some more questions. I answer them. And then she had some issues checking out. And so I've been following up. She hasn't completed it. So I followed up with her on Friday around noon because she had some struggle with the link. She didn't try because they were out house hunting. So I just talked to her about house hunting a little bit, just keeping the connection going. And then this morning I sent her another message and I haven't heard back yet. So maybe right now is not the right time. Maybe this month it's not gonna happen. But the connection's been made, the information has been shared. I'm sharing that with you so that you understand not all conversations end with a sale. Not all conversations end the day they start. And you have to follow up. So I'm not going to follow up again with her tomorrow. I'm not going to follow up again with her probably on Wednesday. But you can bet that on Thursday, I'm going to check in and be like, okay, virtual teaching is killing me. What are you doing with your kids right now? I'm not going to talk about the package again. I'm just going to connect with her again on something else that we have in common. And I'm not lying. Virtual teaching has been a struggle for me. My middle schoolers could care less when I'm having a Google Meet or anything like that. My elementary son wants to be on the call, wants to see his teacher, wants to see his friends. My middle schoolers are like, screw you, Miss Gaines. But I've had a couple other conversations. This one is one that came from Instagram over to Facebook. And this is the one who asked for the package and ended up going from, she asked me the difference for better and good. I told her the difference and she says, I think I would want the better one. So she ended up upgrading herself. But again, she's ghosted me a little bit. So I followed up with her again Friday afternoon, followed up with her again this morning and haven't heard back yet. It's okay. It is absolutely okay for you to have those conversations that halt or slow down. I also wanted to share something else I've been doing a lot is in interactive polls on my Instagram. Getting people to just like today, one of the things I did, and I'm not making them fancy. I've found that I love the graphics that are provided by the woman that creates my content that I purchase. But I've really found that doing things like this, I'm being super silly here, talking about my lack of motivation and how I just procrastinated my workout for 30 minutes. And I just asked them, how motivated are you? And I'm just asking them to move the little fire flame along the sliding scale to show me how motivated they are. There's a conversation starter. I talked a little bit about the fact that I had to hit pause to go to the bathroom 3 times during my workout today. I have a UTI right now, so I have to pee a lot. And then I give them options. I don't know if you can really see that for a poll. Would you rather punch stuff or do whatever you want? And people are voting on that. So I just want to encourage you to don't try to think so much about Success Club points or sales or commissions or things like that. Think more about giving people a solution for whatever their problem is. I've been going live once a week sharing a recipe. Not all of them have been super healthy, but they've been things that I know people can find in the grocery store right now, and they can put in their crock pot or they can put on the stove and they can make it happen because that's what the world needs right now. Again, you don't need to give away everything for free. We don't need to create all these free groups and put all this extra work on ourselves. We believe in what we're doing. We know that what we have to offer is worth it. And we know that we are the total solution but we just need to make sure that when we approach people and talk to people about it, we're putting them first, not what we want to achieve first. So just remember that as you're having your conversations. I appreciate you guys for being on tonight. I know that we switched up the day, we switched up the time. I just felt like yesterday being Easter and all of us celebrating in ways that we're just not accustomed to, I've really felt like it needed to be a day of rest as far as the business goes. So I hope you had a wonderful Easter with your family, virtually and at home. And I love you guys and look forward to a good week.